Hey, welcome everybody, and this is a highlight game, but we're starting off in the first inning because it's two premier pitchers going at it here in my 1974 5-team replay using Fall Classic Baseball. It's going to be the Boston Red Sox facing the California Angels at California Angels Anaheim Stadium. Managers for the Angels in 74 were Winkles, Herzog, and Dick Williams. Dick Williams had the most games managed. The final one-loss record for the Angels is not very good. They lost 26 games below 500, 68 and 94. All right, so let's get started and see what this looks like. Two premier pitchers going at it. What does that look like in Fall Classic Baseball? Now we did the bullpen roll. And it's Ryan has his A stuff and Tiant has his B stuff. So let's do it and let's see what happens. Play a couple innings and then come back and play a couple more innings and then come back and so on. This is Tony Porter and this is Universal Baseball Association YouTube channel. Please join Universal Association Facebook group for the latest. There's amazing content creators on that channel. And also join the Fall Classic Facebook group as well for discussions and info and tweaks, mods, and all kinds of stuff. Here's a pitch to Cecil Cooper leading off. The defense for the Angels from left to right in the outfield is LaHood, Rivers, and Stanton. In the infield from third to first is Bob Oliver, Alomar, Doyle, and Dougherty. Behind the plate is Ellie Rodriguez. He's their everyday catcher. And Nolan Ryan is on the mound. That's a 33. Cooper, pretty good hitter, but this is going to be a ball four. So he walks, and there's a chance for a stolen base. Nope. Well, there's a chance for a pickoff. And when there's a pickoff chance, I just play the straight-up pickoff chance. I don't continue with a stolen base as well. So he's a righty, and his arm is an average arm. So that's 1 to 4. 1 to 4, he's picked off. We already used that, so we're rolling again. And he's picked off first base. Ryan whips it to first, and the tag by Dougherty freezes Cooper, and Cooper's tagged out for the pickoff. All right, picked off first base. And that's how that works. Pretty simple. And you get these little cards with the fast dashing cards, and you don't have to look at the charts. They're mini charts, right? When guys say, oh, no, everything is off the cards, well, I say that all the time. The truth is that the charts and the cards have been integrated. So they're one and the same, right? Instead of just having cards that lead to charts, you have cards that are now the charts. Rick Miller, lefty batter against Ryan to pitch. And that's a 24, which is an out, hard hit ball to center field. And Mickey Rivers is right there for out number 2. And Carlton Fisk, steps to the plate, right-handed hitter, and the replay is batting 236. That season he batted 299, so he's batting a little bit below where he should be. Here's the pitch, and that's a 21, which will be a bouncer to third. Bob Oliver fields it, and that's out number 3. We go to the bottom of the first, no score, and the Angels coming to bat. Mickey Rivers, who's having an outstanding season, batting 333 with 22 stolen bases. Here's the pitch, and that is a 33. That's rip base hit center field for Mick, and he gets a chance to steal with that automatic steal. And we didn't need the 10, so we're going to use it. There he goes, and the throw down, not in time. Stolen base, his 23rd of the season. So a single and a stolen base for Mickey Rivers. Mick the Quick. Soon to be a Yankee. By 76, he's in pinstripes. Here's Denny Doyle, left-handed second baseman. I remember him with wasn't he on the 78 Red Sox who played the Yankees in that last game, that tie-breaking game, where Bucky Dent hit that home run. Here is Doyle with Rivers at second. The pitch, and that's a 56, should be a strikeout, and it is. Tiant strikes out Doyle. And next up is Leroy Stanton. The pitch to Stanton, a 43, and a 43 will be a bouncer to second base, moving Rivers to third. So there's 2 outs, runner on third, and here's Frank Robinson. Let's look at his stats. 13 home runs, 263 average. Batted 251 with 20 home runs and 400 at bats. We are about 20 games from the midway point of the season. Here's a pitch. And that is a 51. So that's a potential error, but we're going to look at the KD 3-roll, and that is a swing and a miss. Struck him out. All right, so 0-0 tie. We go to the top of the second. Carl Yastrzemski. Nolan Ryan with the pitch. And that's a 26 against a right. It's a ground ball, and that's through the right side for a base hit single. A seeing eye single that gets by Doyle at second. And Yastrzemski's on with a single. That was a split single, by the way, for you guys that are enamored by splits. That is a split single. Bernie Carbo, the pitch. And that's a 65. That's a potential home run. But Ryan, in his ACOM, does not give up a lot of home runs. 1-3, and that's a 12. So that's going to be popped up. Popped up, I just call it whatever it is. So this tells me it's a pop-up, and this tells me it's a pop-up to third base. There's other ways to play that. I don't know what the rules say, like a fly ball, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't play it that way. Rico Petrocelli. With a 42, that should be a base on balls because it's Nolan Ryan. So first and second. And here's Dick McAuliffe, another lefty. 21, that should be, that's a ground ball. Hit at second base, Doyle to Alomar to Dougherty, and it's a 4-6-3. They turn it to get out of the inning. That ends the inning. Go to the bottom of the second. Taylor made double play ball, and it's LaHood. 12, and that's going to be tapped right back to Tian, who knocks it down, picks it up, throws the first in time. Bob Oliver, batting 212, 3 home runs. He was a 248 hitter with 8 home runs. Here's the pitch in the season, 51 with a strikeout. That's a 51 error potential, but the KD roll. The first roll is always the KD roll, then you roll again, but that's a strikeout, so I don't have to roll again. All right, now it's John Dougherty, a lefty batter who had 200 at-bats that season. A 16 will be a grounded to short. Guerrero. I didn't go over the Boston Red Sox. Defense. It's Hughes leading off. A guy named Terry Hughes with 69 at-bats in that season. I love these guys, right? See what he does. He had 2 doubles, 14 hits. Batted 203 with 1 home run. Here's the pitch. That's a 16, and that's a strikeout. So Nolan Ryan picks up another strikeout. Here's Mario Guerrero, 244 average on the season. He was a 246 hitter in that official season. 64, and that should be a K, and it is. How many strikeouts is that for Ryan so far? That is 2 strikeouts for Ryan so far. Top of the order. Cecil Cooper, a pitch, and a 66. And that's going to be a drive down the line, fair ball into the corner. Played off the carom by Stanton into second base is Cooper, ahead of the throw with a 2-out double. So Cecil Cooper hammers one into the corner in right field, and Stanton plays it well off the carom, but Cooper gets into second base easily, and that brings up the lefty Rick Miller. Miller batting 240 in the simulation, but in the actual season he batted 260. Here's the pitch, and that's a 12, which will be a bouncer to third. Oliver up with it, over to first, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the third. Okay, so Ryan needs Bernie Carbo to strike out the side here in the top of the fourth inning. Here's the pitch, and it's a 43. That's ball 4. So he walks Carbo instead of striking him out. And here's Rico Petrocelli. 1 on, 2 outs, top of the fourth, no score. Tiant versus, that's a 14, and that's going to be a fly ball. Rivers in center waits for it, makes the catch, and we go to Tiant, bottom of the fourth, 0-0 tie. It's 0-1-0 for the hometown Angels and 0-2-0 for the Red Sox. Here's Louis Tiant versus Denny Doyle. 1974 5-team replay using Fall Classic Baseball by ASG Games and Greg Sovan, RIP. 66. That's going to be a base hit single cut off by Rick Miller. And there's a possibility for a stolen base, and we are going to roll again because we used that already, and he is in there. Second base, there's a throw from Fisk, not in time. Doyle steals it. So it's a single and a stolen base for Denny Doyle against Louis Tiant, and here's Leroy Stanton. Leroy Stanton. I remember him in '77 with the uh, the new team, the Seattle Mariners. I believe he was on expansion team. That's a 66, and that's a deep drive and over Miller's head off the base of the wall. And coming around to score is Doyle, and Leroy Stanton drives one, hammers a double over the center fielder's head, and he's at second base with nobody out. And here's Frank Robinson. Pitch, and that's a 65. That's a potential home run, 1-8, but this is a bouncer to second base. Do we bring in the infield in? I don't normally bring in the infield in. I'm not a big fan of it. There is one out. There is a runner on third. I'm going to do it here. I don't normally do it, but let's see what happens. LaHood, the pitch, 63. That's a fly ball to right. It will be a sac fly deep enough to get him home. So that is a 2-0 lead for the Angels. So they tag Tiant here for a couple of runs, and it's Bob Oliver now with 2 out, nobody on. The pitch. And a 16 will be a fly ball to right. Bernie Carbo. He makes the catch, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the 5th. Let's see what happens with Nolan Ryan, if he can keep it up. He's facing Dick McAuliffe. The pitch, and a 14 will be a fly ball to right. 1 away. Terry Hughes with an 11, and that's an out. That's a high fly, center field, Mickey Rivers under it. And Mario Guerrero, the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss, struck him out. And another strikeout for Ryan. Not sure how many that is. We'll find out the next inning. Okay, we are in the top of the 6th. It's 1st and 3rd and 2 outs, and up comes Bernie Carbo. He's a left-handed hitter, batting .242 in the simulation. In the actual season, he batted .249, but he's got some power. He had a home run at 66, 1-9, and of course, he's got a 65 home run. Nolan Ryan does not give up a lot of home runs on his A grade, and only a 1-3 on that. Here's Bernie Carbo, and here's a pitch from Ryan. Score is 3-0 Angels in the top of the 6th. The pitch, and that's a 21. Struck him out, and that retires the side. Another strikeout for. Let's look at the box score to see how many strikeouts. Ryan has 6 strikeouts and 5 walks. Sounds like Ryan. This is Fall Classic Baseball with 2 premier pitchers going at it in 1974. I expect to see 2 complete games. Both pitchers had 300 innings pitched, over 300 innings pitched. Here's Leroy Stanton against Louis Tiant, 41, and that's a base on balls. And Tiant has had his control issues in this game as well. Frank Robinson and Snake Eyes, and that's ball 4. So that's 4 walks in 2 innings by Louis Tiant. Let's take a look. Yep, all right, he's got 3 walks. I thought he walked 2 in the previous inning. So he's got 3 walks in 2 innings, and Joe LaHood with 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Will he bunt? No, not a good bunter. Here's the pitch, and that's a 13, which will be a line drive to first base. This could be a double play, and it is. And the line to Cooper, who dives back to the bag ahead of Frank Robinson, and it's an line out double play. Oh, why did I just do that? Okay, it's a line out double play. So let's do that. Line out to first base, and runner there. So then let's see. All right, so unassisted double play by Cecil Cooper. And that brings up Bob Oliver here with 2 outs. And that's a 16, and that'll be a fly ball to right. Over near the line as Carbo makes the catch. We go to top of the 7th inning. It is Nolan Ryan against Rico Petrocelli pitching a shutout so far. Here's the pitch. That's a Snake Eyes and 1-13 walk, and it is a base on balls. So 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. Here's Dick McAuliffe, another lefty batter. And it's a 32, and a 32 will be a 14. It's grounded to second base. He goes to second for 1, no throw to first as Petrocelli goes in hard. So a fielder's choice there, and Terry Hughes Pitch 25, and against a lefty, that's a single. Otherwise, it's a ground ball to short. Goes to second for one. Back to first, not in time. Fielder's choice. So Alomar to Doyle. And it's Mario Guerrero. Can we pinch hit here? Let's see. See if we get something going, because we're dealing with a shutout. So let's call on. So I have no lefties on the bench to hit. All right, so do we stick with Guerrero? How does Guerrero hit? Guerrero's a 250 hitter. We'll just let him bat. Pitch from Ryan. 54. That is a potential wild pitch with a 9, and it will be a wild pitch. Interested to see what is Ellie Rodriguez's 1-6 pass ball. When you have some wild throwers like that, like Ryan, you're going to get a lot of pass balls. Okay, throwing up around 100. Here's Guerrero again with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Playing Fall Classic Baseball, 1974, 22. And Guerrero, it's 1-17 is a single. Run would have probably scored, maybe. But unfortunately, it's a line out to the pitcher. Ripped right up the middle, and Ryan grabs it. And that is the inning. So I rolled a real unlucky number for the Red Sox. All right. So it's going to be Dougherty here in the bottom of the 7th. Tiant versus Dougherty. Pitch, and that is a 25 against a righty. It's a ground ball, and that's through for a base hit. So that's a splits single for Dougherty. And Ellie Rodriguez, he's a good bunter, so we're going to roll with just 1 die, and that's, it depends who it's to. It's to the third baseman, Hughes. What kind of arm does Hughes have? Otherwise, it's a fielder's choice. Hughes has an average arm, so it's going to be a good bunt. And that moves Dougherty, who is not a speedy guy, to second base. Let's get a pinch runner. Let's call on Bobby Valentine to pinch run. Here's Alomar, the pitch, and that is a snake eyes, which is a tapper right back to the mound. And on this one, I believe the runner advances, fielder's choice, runner's hold. No, runner's hold on this one. So ground ball, hit hard right back up to the pitcher. He looks the runner back and throws to first. So the runner will hold at second base. And the order turns over here against Tiant with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. Mickey Rivers, who's got a hit today, batting .340. Maybe he's got more than a hit. Let's see. Mickey Rivers is 2 for 3 today. And that's another hit for Mickey Rivers. I do nothing but deliver doubles for Mickey Rivers. And with a 20, that's going to be an assist chance trying to score with 2 out. So let's roll to see who he hits it to. He hits it to the right fielder, Carbo. Let's look at Carbo's. This is super easy to do. Carbo's is a 3. So that's a 1, 2, 3. He is out. And a 4, 5, 6. He is safe. And he is safe. And Mickey Rivers is fast. We'll give him the base. I could have cut it off, but I did not. So it's a RBI single. Let's do this in detail. Single, runner goes to second, other runner goes home. And here's Doyle. I'm sorry. Here's Doyle. So it's 4-0 now. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, I use different colors so I know what's what. All right, here's Doyle, the pitch, and that's a 32, which will be an out, a fly ball, left field. On the run is Yastrzemski, and Yastrzemski runs it down. Okay, top of the 8th, Nolan Ryan against Cecil Cooper. Need a new first baseman. It will be McCraw. Okay, here goes. Let's make sure everybody's in view. Pretty much, not really. Here we go. All right, everybody's in view. Here's the pitch to Cecil Cooper. He's leading off the top of the 8th inning for the Red Sox. Ryan with the pitch, pitching a shutout. Now that's a 51. We checked the KD. It's a 22 high, and that's a 5. So that may be an error. It goes to the third baseman, Bob Oliver. I think he's like an 8. Oliver at third base is a 7, so he boots it. Is that a 1 or a 2 base error? A 51. Oh, that's an exotic chart result. I don't always go to the exotic chart. This time I will. Sometimes I just make it a single, and an error. Where's the exotic chart? Let's see if I can find the exotic chart. I used it yesterday. And I found it yesterday. I used it yesterday, and I said, "Oh, here's the exotic chart." Let's see. Oh, here. No, that's not it. Is that it? Yep, found it. Okay, so there's nobody on base. Got to roll the. Oh no. Okay, so exotic chart to first baseman to the third baseman. Bases are empty. Real bad throw on a slow roller. Runner to second. F batter goes to third. Is Cooper? He's an F, so it's going to be a. But is thrown out if right fielder is an S. Stanton. Is Stanton an S in right field? No. Okay, so it's a 3-base error on the third baseman. So let's go into the detail. That's a little separate section in Replay Baseball. Third baseman error, 3 bases done. All right, so it's Rick Miller now. So sometimes I will go into that chart, depending. It's the Red Sox are down 4-0, so they need all the help they can get. Infield's going to be back, so this may be, unless Ryan can strike out the side, this is going to potentially be his downfall in the loss of his shutout. Let's see what happens. Here's a pitch. That's a 62, strike 3, and Ryan blows a fastball by Miller, 1 away. Next is Carlton Fisk, and that's a snake eyes 1-5 single, otherwise ball 4. Carl Yastrzemski comes up. The tying run is on deck, by the way. Who is the tying run? Bernie Carbo. Here's a pitch, Ryan, and that is a 56, strike 3. And Ryan blows the heat by Carl Yastrzemski. So 2 outs, 2 on, 4-0, and Ryan needs to get by Carbo here to protect his shutout. Let's see what happens. Here's the pitch, and that is a 25, and that'll be a bouncer to third. Oliver with the throw to McCraw, and in time, and that ends the inning. So somehow, some way, runner on third with nobody out, and the Red Sox failed to score against the Express. Here's Leroy Stanton and Tiant in the bottom of the 8th. 15, strike 3, Frank Robinson. 64, and that's a fly ball, center field. Rick Miller, he's there, 2 down. Let's take a quick look at the box score. Tiant has not had a bad day. He has given up 4 earned runs, but he has 5 strikeouts. Ryan, a 2-hitter so far with 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. Wow. Sounds like Ryan to me. Here's the pitch, 13, which will be a fly ball this time to left field, and it's a left fielder, Yastrzemski, who's there. All right, top of the 9th. Last licks for the Red Sox. It's going to be Petrocelli, Dougherty. We may see pinch hitters, and wait a second. Petrocelli, Hughes, and Guerrero. We'll most likely see pinch hitters. We'll see what happens. It's the bottom of the order. Here's a pitch, and it's a 31. I play it as a range play, but that 16 is pretty high. Third base, no way Oliver gets that. His range is a 3, so that's by Oliver for a single. So he knocks it down. It's a little blooper that he dives for, and it bounces next to him. He's able to get a glove on it, rolls a couple of feet away, but Petrocelli down by 4 is going to hold at first base. Here's McAuliffe now. Dick McAuliffe. He's a lefty, so we'll let him bat. Here's a pitch, and that's a 21, and that will be a hard hit ball right at Doyle. Goes to Alomar, back to McCraw. 4-6-3, double play. They turn it. So it's 2 outs now, and we're going to get a pinch hitter here. We don't have any lefties, but we will bring the Rooster, Burleson, to pinch hit. See if somebody can get a hit off of. I don't think that. Let's see. Let me look at the box score. Hughes was 0 for 3 today, so let's bring in a new guy. All right, see if we can get another hit. Boston has 3 hits all day, And Ryan is 1 out away from a complete game 3-hitter, which is pretty amazing. Here's the pitch, and that's a snake eyes and 1-11 single line base hit. And there is a possibility for a stolen base, but I'm going to override that since we are down by 4 with 2 outs. We don't need a stolen base right now. We need runners on base. Cecil Cooper, actually Mario Guerrero is coming up. And Guerrero today is 0 for 3, so we're going to pinch hit for Guerrero. We're going to call on somebody else. Darrell Evans, how's that? Actually, you know what? Let's get Beniquez. Darrell Evans has a higher on-base percentage, but we want to save him. Let's call on Beniquez, Juan Beniquez, to pinch hit here. Red Sox are desperate. Ryan is still okay endurance-wise. He's got a runner on first with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Beniquez, and that's a 65, which will be a -4. That's negative, so there's no chance for a home run. That'll be a fly ball deep right center field. It's Rivers and Stanton. Stanton on the track, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Ryan wins it 9-6, lowers his ERA to 2.96, has a very high whip at a 1.5. But let's look at his stats for today. This is his 17th game of the season, 17th start of the season. So we're closing in on a halfway point. Ryan, nine innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 7 walks, 8 strikeouts, 36 batters faced, 2.95. Lowers his ERA to 2.95. Rivers went 3 for 4 again, got his batting average up to 3.43, and that was really it. He had 2 RBIs. Everybody else just had 3 other guys with 1 hit. The Angels only had 6 hits, so 10 hits total in this game, 4 runs total in this game. But that makes sense because there's 2 premier pitchers going at it. So this is what really rolling a game with premier pitchers looks like in fall classic baseball. You get a close, tight game with pitchers, having their unique characteristics. Nolan Ryan with all the walks, and that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. I'm Tony Porter, your host. Join Fall Classic Facebook group. Like and subscribe to my channel. And please comment. Tell me what you think and what you don't think. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.